Hello. All right. All yesterday it poured rain here in California. Brought us all up to quite a few more inches. 3 inches more here in San Francisco. And I saw 3.5 inches over in Marin. More rain expected. Almost June. This is when we're at our hottest, close to our hottest months. It's starting in June. In fact, some of the records were broken in June. A lot of the grass is now brown, as you can see here. But where the trees have been, it's still perfectly green. Perfectly green? Still green. How's that? Perfectly green. I don't think the weather is what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about something seriously horrible here in the U.S. We have to find just the right spot to do a video. This being the weekend, and there's some sun going on. It's going to be packed. Let's move on. We'll try it here for a minute or two. So, the Orange Man is going to open up the first commercial scale oil shale mine in Utah, here in the U.S. Oil shale. That means they strip mine the countryside, dig up all this oily clay and rock, and then they take tons of water and boil it and put it over this and wash out the oil, and then they strain the oil off, and the polluted water goes off into a big huge pond, and then it's released into the waterway, the very waterways that people drink out of, by the way. This will also bring facilities to this area. But who's doing the mining? Well, it's an Estonia company. Here's the name of the company, Etfit, I think, and Netfit maybe. So the problem is that this shale company is going to be mining on public lands and just outside of public lands, but they'll need the access to it through public lands with roads and mining equipment and belts hauling stuff to the facilities. And in other words, you're wasting public lands. This will be a 50,000 barrel a day oil processing plant. More than 28 million tons of oil shale per year will be processed. That's digging up the land and destroying it. But there's a river nearby called the Green River in Utah that has very little rainfall, so the river does not exactly flow all the time full on. But they're going to take 3 billion gallons of water per year to process this oil shale. Of course, the big thing is the threat to habitat in this area. It's a dry area. You know, it has specialized habitats, both plant and animal. All these would be affected drastically and harmful if this plant gets through. There is a lawsuit against it. No respect at all from the Orange Man or even the public lands. They're just considered wastelands as far as he's concerned. So there was a time in the U.S. when nature was very well respected. Wildfires, there were ads to keep yourself from burning down a forest, or don't litter, and so on and so forth. Don't pollute the creeks. But boy, the respect for nature is out the window, even for public lands, which are sort of preserved wildlands that have only been mutilated once or twice by humans. They sort of look wild, but we certainly don't give a damn anymore. That's a lot of the reasons why I show nature so much, or it's not real wild nature, but it is something other than concrete and steel and cars, to show that there really is another world out here that's worth keeping and protecting. No, not in this administration here in the U.S. The administration thinks that lands put aside for the public is a waste of time and should be given to all the corporations. And if he does get 6 years more, pretty much all those lands will be in private hands. It's really unfortunate. When you get right-wing governments into office, the first thing that goes is the public lands, the public property, anything to do with the property of the public, and that goes into their pockets usually through some illegal scam, whether it be a big huge shoe collection or gold-plated airplanes. It's still taking money that the public used for both their enjoyment and to preserve what is and turn it into something just to make money until it runs out, and then it's just a big wasteland. And then that includes all that oil goes into the air as CO2 and the processing of it. It's questionable whether they'll even make a profit. What a disgrace. We're getting so desperate for any drop of oil we can get. Have you noticed the gas prices? Here in California, cheap gas station, $4.09 a gallon. Thanks, Orange Man. You certainly are winning, aren't you? Soon, the U.S. will be yours. I appreciate all the ups and the downs and the new subscribers. And until next time.